gonna talk forever. So this kind of response, to me not even like, sometimes not even asking for help, just stating that there is this problem that I'm currently like going through, that would elicit this response that, well, I always say that you should do something. And I would say no. Like, this isn't helping. I'm not feeling relieved and like supported and like, yeah. Like, I don't feel anything any better, and my problem isn't solved, and your solution isn't tailored to my situation in any way, because what you always say is that like you should be healthy and rich, essentially, not poor and fucking sick. Which, like, the benefit of the doubt is that, like, well, they have had a life too. So that's what they have learned, that they just, like, when they do something, as if this is like a rare fucking occurrence, like doing something. I'm doing something now. I'm currently doing something, even when I'm sleeping, and so does everyone else. Like, yeah, like if you do something, you need to do it like this fucking, like the most expensive, the most time-consuming, the most effortful way possible, the most ideal way like possible, so that you don't have any problems. If you want to have no problems, do this. So like, but like maybe it's because like that's what life sadly has taught them, and like I still don't know, like, why would you like why wouldn't you hear that it's not helping? Like, you clearly can see that I'm still distressed, and you clearly can see that I still have this problem. And like, whatever you are saying now is not addressing that. It's like not doing anything, and I still need to do something about it. And your thing that you're offering, like starting from scratch, like don't live in an old building, build yourself a new one, yeah. It would take resources and just time, like I mostly mean time actually, and just like resources that I don't have. And like me trying to do that would create so many more problems for me. If I were to build myself a whole new proper building, if I don't want to, like, I don't know, if I don't want to something, what are the problems that happen to buildings? Some problem, yeah. So if I don't want some problem with the building, there are like, I don't know, rats. There are rats. So if I start doing that, like, I'm in trouble. I cannot work. I cannot do anything. Like, I don't have anywhere to live. I have to like find myself a separate place to live, because obviously I cannot do this there. Like, yeah, like I now have to devote years of my life to this project. Like, solve the problem with creating 1,000 more problems. And they never stopped. Like, I would try to say something, I didn't say this again, like this feels insane that it needs to be saying. Needs to be said. So I would like, sometimes I would just like, I don't know, sometimes I would flip. Because obviously, like, I helped those people a lot. I never did it with this first, or like, first and foremost, so just at all, like, not doing anything, just like saying, but like, I always say, I mean, I don't always say anything, but yeah, like, I always say that you should, like, you should work in a circus, and not anywhere you work. Yeah, sometimes I would, like, try to say, like, that this is not applicable. What you're saying is, like, it's not helpful, it's not useful, it doesn't address my problem, and you're, like, actually only, like, causing me more stress, and I'm stressed now. They wouldn't stop them. They would just go on and on and on, like, until I fucking snap. So that is what I had today. Like, for about 20 minutes I had to push this fucking experience that it's a repeated experience. They never learn that maybe, like, don't do that. So they did that, and they did that, and they did that, and like I have this fucking woo-woo in my mind now. Which made me, like, want to kill someone. I didn't have anyone available. And, like, my third number one is just, like, the most complex subject here, which I will need to talk at length about later, once I'm done with my autism and with whatever interruptions I have. Again, like, something in me, like, feels that I have to, not have to, like, I do that. I start giving them the benefit of the doubt and, like, compassion and, like, understanding, well, there's this here and there is this there, so obviously, like, you cannot want anything and you cannot require anything, like, and if you do, well, like, well, I also do, like, this kind of bullshit, and, like, I'm not sure if it's bullshit or not. Feels like it should, because the rest was bullshit. But I cannot find anything there. But yeah, like, so that was the halfling who would, like, but that's why you should do everything, like, completely, like, properly and ideally. Otherwise, yes, of course you will have problems with never fucking stopping with this. So my third number 2 had kind of something like that too. Like, trying to push me somewhere. But why don't you respect my opinion? I respect my opinion. Like, I'm so proud I have opinions. Other people don't have opinions, and, like, and you, like, don't respect opinions. Why is that? Opinions are so important. Like, and I've told you that, like, and you didn't, like, I've told you that it's like very extremely risky to live on the 5th floor, and you, like, you still bought an apartment on the 5th floor, and I told you that, like, everyone has a problem with the roof, and, like, now you have the problem with the roof, and, like, why? And I tried talking to them about that. I had a hail, massive, like, fucking big chunks of ice, which destroyed roofs in, like, the whole town. Which weren't destroyed before the hail. which surprised the locals very much. Like, we have never seen that and we're 60 years old. So I had like fucking leakage. And I had to go like find the person who could fix the roof for me and find the money for that. And that was precisely the time my turd number one chose to like start this discussion that I don't respect their opinion, or like I don't respect opinions in general, what is wrong with me? Like I tried to reason with them for some reason that like this is not a concern actually. This is not a concern when you're choosing an apartment and you have a limited amount of money and you have a limited amount of apartments available and you have other pressing things like you have to buy it now, otherwise you're gonna be fucking cold in winter. Because where you're living now, like it's in... the windows are holes. So like your valuable opinion that, oh, like everyone who lives on the last floor and like the top floor, they have problems with the roof, is not like, it's not really applicable to like anywhere. Like you still need to make a decision. Probably like I haven't considered quite a few things that some fucking cunt like you has also an opinion, also has an opinion about, like about earthquakes. We have earthquakes here. Like, well, the fifth floor, like I mean, like, yeah, I'm aware of this. Like, you know, you don't really have time to run, and you wouldn't like an earthquake happening, like a big one. But like, it's not, you have like real constraints within which you're actually making a choice. Also, you lived in a completely different place with a completely different type of roof, which was fixed by the government, who didn't do a thorough job. And also, I think you're not aware of this. I think I didn't say that, like I was just again too flabbergasted to do that. Have you noticed that a lot of people live in detached houses, which are like the house is like both the top and the ground floor at the same time? Like every detached house has a roof that is like your responsibility. You were considering buying a fucking house. Have you noticed that like apartment buildings are like a pretty new phenomenon? And for millennia, the whole human civilization lived in like houses that had a roof, and like the roof was there. Like, nah, there shouldn't be like roofs. They were like, I don't know, like smart, like not smart people, like people who are not assholes, ungrateful, psychopathic assholes who don't give a shit about their friends and their intelligence. They should listen to me and not buy a place that has a roof. I mean, needless to say, like the roof got installed through my own efforts without anyone's help or support. And there hasn't been a problem since. And I'm willing to bet for like 20 more years there will not be a problem with the roof. There will be a problem with something else. Yeah, so that was not a nice one. But also, which is even more complicated, is like my third number one, they don't have to do anything. That's their like deepest conviction. It's difficult for them. Like they decided that things are difficult for them. Thus, they don't have to do anything. And don't you dare make them guilty. Do you really want to? Like, don't you dare make them guilty because they told you that they can't. That they can't do that. They can't do anything. They can do nothing, like really nothing. That, like, don't you like what would you expect? I do nothing. I have the right to do nothing. I don't have to do anything. So I don't know how. This is like a fucking wall. I don't know how to get past it. And they would like start fucking sobbing and letting out their snot and going through the fucking meat grinder of like their emotions. I have my own, thank you very much. Like, oh, I'm so useless, why am I so useless? And then like, but how do you, like, how dare you, why should I feel guilt, and why shouldn't, like, where is your compassion for me? And like, whatever, like, all sorts of bursts of shit. Like, those, like, dumb questions that, like, but what can I do? Like, I cannot do anything. And like, I've been sitting here, I have nothing to do. And like, in my mind it's pretty easy. And this is what I do. This is what I have done, and this is what I was doing for them for quite a long time, until it became like increasingly hard. Like, there is a problem that is caused by something, and you think that there is a solution that kind of makes this problem go away, or at least makes it like much more rare, so that's like not actually a problem anymore. How hard is it not to start talking about that, like pushing this whole like systemic fucking change on a person the very second they're like visibly upset, and just like helping like to restore some kind of balance, like to let them like continue with their job, or like continue with their house chores, whatever they need to do, like continue with their like day-to-day life, like restore, you know, the normality. And then, like the next day, like, why don't you say that, you know what, like, I've had this problem too, and like a lot of people have this problem, and there is this solution, which is like costly and time consuming. So, and I know that you have like limited resources, unlike me, which I have like more of. So I looked into it, like I did a few Google searches, and I found like these several options that you could install. Let's say it's about electricity, like you can put in there in place. Like, is it in your price range? Like, you can do this and this and that, and this will have this and that, like good consequences, positive outcomes. If you want, like, I can answer a few questions about, like, if you don't understand something, or if you want, I can like drive with you to the shop if you're willing to do that. Like, if you decide that you actually like can afford this. How fucking hard is it? The question that doesn't have an answer. I don't think it's hard. I've done it. I'm not a specialist in anything, but I have had a life. I have had some experiences. I've heard some people have experience. Like, I have heard about people having their own experiences. I have internet. I have Google, and if it's not my problem, if someone else has a small catastrophe in their head, I am not distressed. And they're like my friend and my partner and my family or whatever. I feel compassion. So yeah, I would do like a few Google searches and like and offer something. But yeah, my third number one, they decided they cannot do anything in life. The life is just too difficult for them. Everything hurts. And everything is like so unfair. And everyone is so rude. And everyone is just like out to get them. And like their mother didn't like them. Their mother didn't love them enough. And they're like, they didn't get anything, like didn't get any skills, and they're so in need of help, and obviously they don't do anything, like they have the right to not do anything. So what do you fucking expect? I cannot go to the shop with you. I don't know anyone's phone, any kind of like specialist numbers. I don't do anything, like what, like, I mean, I kind of actually expect you to start doing something. I think it's a good idea to start doing something. Or, if it's indeed too hard, like, I don't know, how fucking hard can it get? And it's hard for me. And they're not disabled. They always talk about themselves that they're disabled, and but they're not. Their fucking brain is completely intact. And they're sitting in their fucking computer, creating hours and hours of drama with me, instead of like doing a few Google searches. Like, yeah, you cannot, you don't know the phone numbers. And you cannot go to the shop with me because like it's very physically difficult for you or something.